They thought they had made it. After a perilous journey across the English Channel, they set foot on British soil, hoping for a new life. But their dream just turned into a nightmare. This week, the UK government did something it has been promising for months. An Indian man, an Eritrean man, and an Iranian man have all been put on planes and deported back to France. Their journey to the UK is over. Their chance of ever living here, gone. What was their critical mistake? Why were they singled out? And most importantly, how does this shocking event signal a permanent ban on getting indefinite leave to remain for anyone who follows in their footsteps? Stay with me, because in this video, we are breaking down the stark warning the UK has just sent to the world. This isn't just a news story. It's a critical alert for anyone even thinking about coming to the UK. The rules have changed, the consequences are severe, and what happened to these men could happen to thousands more. We'll reveal exactly what they did wrong and why the dream of settling in the UK is now impossible for those who make the same choice. You need to hear this. So, what is this new deal that led to these deportations? Over the summer, the UK and French governments agreed to a pilot scheme, which some are calling the one-in, one-out deal. This agreement, which is set to run until June of 2026, is designed to do one thing: deter dangerous and illegal small boat crossings. The mechanism is straightforward. For every undocumented migrant returned to France after arriving in a small boat, the UK will accept one migrant from France through a new, safe, and legal route, subject to strict security and documentation checks. The Home Office and the Prime Minister have been clear about the intent. Prime Minister Keir Starmer stated, "I am clear, we will not reward illegal entry. If you cross the channel unlawfully, you will be detained and sent back." Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood echoed this, hailing the first removal as an important first step to securing our borders and sending a direct message. If you enter the UK illegally, we will seek to remove you. This isn't just political rhetoric anymore. We are seeing it happen. The first person removed was an Indian man who arrived by boat in August. He was followed by an Eritrean man who lost a high court challenge to block his removal, and then an Iranian man. Despite legal challenges that initially delayed some removals, the government has shown its resolve to push forward, even appealing court decisions that grant delays. But the numbers tell a story of a massive challenge. While only a few people have been returned so far, a record 31,000 clandestine passengers have arrived in England via the Channel just since the start of this year. The journey is incredibly perilous. At least 23 people have died during these crossings in the same period, and 3 have been missing since last week. People smugglers, charging thousands of euros per person, are exploiting desperate people, packing them onto small, unsafe boats. The scene on the French coast near Gravelines is one of chaos and disappointment, with many more people trying to get on boats than there is space. Now, let's get to the most crucial part of this discussion. What did the deported individuals do wrong? And how does this connect to indefinite leave to remain? The answer is simple and brutal. They broke the law by entering the United Kingdom illegally. Under the UK's Illegal Migration Act, which received royal assent in 2023, the government has a legal duty to detain and promptly remove those who arrive in the UK illegally. The entire purpose of this act is to prevent and deter unlawful migration, specifically through dangerous routes like small boat crossings. It removes the incentive to make the journey by making it clear that you will not be able to stay. So, when these individuals crossed the channel in a small boat without prior permission, they committed a breach of immigration control. They did not use a valid port of entry or possess the required visa or entry clearance. This act alone makes their presence in the UK unlawful. The new UK-France treaty gives the government the power to detain these individuals immediately upon arrival and return them to France. Anyone returned to France under this scheme is explicitly barred from being eligible for the new legal route to the UK. This is where the dream of indefinite leave to remain shatters. ILR, or settlement, is the cornerstone of building a permanent life in the UK. It allows you to live, work, and study without time restrictions and is the main pathway to British citizenship. However, to get ILR and later citizenship, you must satisfy what is known as the good character requirement. And here is the devastating blow. In February of 2025, the Home Office updated its guidance on this very requirement. The new rules are explicit. For any citizenship application made from that date, if the person previously entered the UK illegally, Their application will normally be refused, regardless of how much time has passed since the illegal entry took place. Let me repeat that, because it is the most important takeaway from this video. Entering the UK illegally, even once, many years ago, can now permanently disqualify you from ever becoming a British citizen. The guidance goes even further, specifically mentioning dangerous journeys. It states that a person who has arrived without valid entry clearance, having made a dangerous journey, will normally be refused citizenship. It then defines a dangerous journey as including, but not limited to, traveling by small boat or concealed in a vehicle. This is a fundamental shift. Previously, an illegal entry that occurred more than 10 years ago might have been overlooked. Now, that 10-year window is gone. The act of crossing the channel in a dinghy creates a permanent black mark on your immigration history that, according to the government's own rules, will almost certainly prevent you from ever settling. While this guidance is specifically for citizenship, the grounds for refusal in visa and settlement applications often overlap, and a history of illegal entry is a major negative factor that can lead to refusal of ILR as well. Any breach of immigration law is taken incredibly seriously. Therefore, anyone who falls into the same category as the men who were just deported, that is, anyone who enters the UK on a small boat without permission, is not only risking immediate detention and removal under the Illegal Migration Act and the New Deal with France, but they are also, in the eyes of the Home Office, destroying any future prospect of legally settling in the UK. The path to ILR is built on a foundation of legal and compliant immigration history. An illegal entry is a fundamental violation that makes building that foundation impossible. Some experts, like law professor Serge Slommer, argue that these policies won't work because people fleeing persecution feel they have no other choice but to use irregular means. However, the UK government's position is firm. The system must be controlled, and the only acceptable way to come to the UK is through safe and legal routes. So, what is the final message here? It is a warning, loud and clear. The political climate in the UK is focused on stopping the boats and enforcing immigration law. The recent deportations are not isolated incidents. They are the start of a new, tougher enforcement regime. The laws and policies are now aligned to create a hostile environment for anyone entering illegally. If you are watching this and considering coming to the UK, do not listen to people smugglers. Do not risk your life on a dangerous journey. And do not believe that you can enter illegally and then regularize your status later. The rules have been tightened specifically to prevent this. An illegal entry via a small boat will lead to detention, removal, and, critically, it will almost certainly bar you from ever achieving indefinite leave to remain or British citizenship. The door is being slammed shut. Please, seek official and legal advice. Explore the official visa and asylum routes offered by the UK government. Do not make a mistake that will cost you your life savings, endanger your life, and permanently end your dream of a future in the United Kingdom. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with anyone who needs to hear this urgent message.